Hello, shining ones. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. Oh, do I have a video for you today? Today, we're going to be talking about Zoroastrian prayer, but we're going to go a step farther. We're going to experience Zoroastrian prayer. We're going to actually experience, in truth, what is just real. What is the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind is our baseline of protection, provision, peace, joy. Everything's going to work out. It's living in that magi magic. And we're going to experience that today. And we're going to experience it with our ancient prayers, Yata'uhu, Ashemvahu, the prayers that the magi have prayed for thousands of years, and even the prayer that God prays. Yata'uhu. What is Yata'uhu? It's speaking truth. And here's what I want you to see about truth. You know, one of the things that Zoroastrian parents taught their children at a young age was to always speak the truth. I need you to see this because no magic happens without truth. The key ingredient of magic, magi magic, is truth. And it's kind of funny. You see, because you know this, the word magic was named after the Magi, and you see it not only in, well, for instance, I was just watching a Princeton scientist, one of the big universities. He's been studying magic, and they're actually doing like double blind test, and he knows the language of Zoroastrianism. He's speaking the language. We talked about that yesterday in Asha 15. It says, speak the truth. But to speak the truth, you have to know the language. He was speaking the language. Matter of fact, I was wondering if he'd come across Megas videos because he was talking about you have to have a reason to believe. And I haven't heard that anywhere else but on this channel. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've come across our stuff because we all do kind of come across each other that are interested in this. I've listened to different people in high government positions that have worked in this for 20 plus years. It's very real that our consciousness affects the outside world. So what we're going to actually do today is not just talk about the prayers, we're going to experience them. Where over the next few days, starting, right after the video, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel the peace. You're going to feel the protection. You're going to see divine appointments and synchronicities and things working out. You're going to see the magi magic happening. How do I know that? How am I bold enough to say that? I'm glad you asked because we're going to do a few things before we actually get to the prayer. And this is also important. You have to do. It's taking it from the inside and putting it in the outside world. I'm going to show you a couple little techniques that are thousands of years old that many different disciplines use. But you have to do it. You have to take it from the inside and put it in the outside. A great example is, say you're watching TV and a commercial comes on, starving children, it moves your heart. But if you don't get up and physically take the credit card, pick up the phone, make the call, send it and get food in their bellies, you've done nothing. Right? So it's taking what's in and we're materializing it. That's the beauty of being in form, in time and space, my friends. And a great example of this is you'll see a lot of the ancient techniques of the Magi. You see in not only like what they're talking about in the major universities now, but also in my sci-fi books and fantasy books that I read. They take the Magi teachings and they can put it into academics or into works of fiction. But it all comes down to a basic truth. And the number one truth is to work in whatever you want to call it, magic or miracles or manifesting. It all starts with the number one truth. You have to have truth. And I was just watching a show called The Librarians last night. I just started this series, and they're talking to a dragon, these librarians, and of course, this is fiction, but they said some very real things. And as they're talking to the dragon, one of the librarians said, "How do you know he's not lying?" And the other librarian said, "Because dragons, they're magical beings and they cannot lie because the truth is tied to their magic." I think of the Wheel of Time series I have that I love so much, fiction writing, but so much truth. And it's said that the author, he studied Zoroastrianism. We talked about that, was it yesterday or the day before? Like the magicians in his book are called Ashamans, where in Zoroastrianism it's Ashavans, truth knowers. The Aes Sedai, the witches in his books, they cannot lie, right? Because their magic is tied to truth. That's why we've been hitting on Asha 15 so hard. Speak the truth. You must speak the truth. Zoroastrians, what is the main thing they teach their children, right? There's three things. Ride a horse. These have spiritual meanings behind them. Ride a horse, shoot a bow, speak the truth. Excuse me. You must speak the truth, not with just your prayers, but with what you are. Ashavan is a truth knower, but it's also truth beer. You have to be that thing you're going to manifest. The thing you want to see, you have to be it. You have to take on the energy of it. You have to take on the energy of health and wholeness and peace and joy, and you create it. And my friends, this is scientifically proven in universities now, and I love it. And I love that they always give credit back to the Magi, the original magician Zoroaster. You know, we did a video, The Witch's Pyramid. Witchcraft is built off of Asha 4. I love that, my friends. Now, there is a difference, and we'll talk more about it, from white magic or black magic. And black magic is basically not giving someone else their free will. And this works in many arenas. I'm not going to get into a teaching on that. But it's overriding someone else's will. Now, in this magic we're going to do today, the Zoroastrian prayers, this is going to be for what you need, not necessarily for what you want. And I must explain this because a couple things. One, you have to have a reason to believe, right? Otherwise, you're just hoping, begging, wouldn't that be nice? Trying to make deals. That doesn't work. That's not Magi magic. You won't manifest. So if you have some pie in the sky, doesn't mean you can't do it and won't do it, but that's not what we're doing right here. You're getting a taste of how it works. You will experience it, and then it builds a momentum. Then the next time it comes a little easier, and then you can go for those bigger things. Secondly, some of the things are so out of your grasp right now, right? You're not ready for it. Like it might be a relationship that you want, but necessarily don't need because you're not in the right place to love someone else, to take care of someone else. You might actually end up harming them emotionally, mentally, spiritually, because you're not ready to take on someone else. You haven't even learned how to take care of yourself. So we're going to get what we need for self-healing, protection, provision, peace, joy in our own hearts and minds before you try to take on someone else. Maybe it's wealth, but inside you're not ready to take on the paperwork, right? Paying the taxes, little things like that. You're just, because you're not ready to be thrown into that. That's why we have time and space. You work up, you understand how these things work. And as you get more money and more responsibility, right? You might think, I want to win the lottery. You could do that. But how many stories have you heard of people that their whole life was ruined because they won the lottery? You know, and so today is going to be what you need. Health in your body, you need protection, provision, peace, right? This is an easy one for us. One of the biggest testimonies we have is people, they get healed from OCD, depression, all kinds of mental diseases, physical diseases. I'm also going to share a few stories, not get long into it, but also to build your understanding and reasoning and the possibilities of what's possible for health. I've seen this multiple times where I prayed for someone. Matter of fact, if you ask them, and I just read a few days ago some testimonies of people that were healed from cancer and different things, and they gave me the credit. Now, we obviously know it's not Magus Winston Head that did it. All I did was speak truth, right? There's a great power that is just truth and real, that is the reality is wholeness and health. And so all I did was speak it in a way that they were able to grab it, to understand it, to let that truth override the lie and illusion that they had been ingrained with their whole life. That's just how it is. I was able to get it to a place where it was reasonable, it was in reach, and they're able to grab a hold of it. It was like the Christ used to say, your faith has made you whole. Your faith healed you, right? And so we are just a channel for truth, for light, for health. But it's all around the person. It's just getting them so they can grab it. And that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to do some things. We were talking earlier about getting it from the inside and manifested. I use a clap. You will see with Zoroastrians, right? They use knots. And what they're doing is they will take their desire, their wish that's in them, and then they're putting it into the material world. They're seeing it go into the knot as they tie the knot. You see that with sigils, right? You're writing it out. You're making a symbol that what's in you, you're putting it into form and matter, right? Mine, I think of it like the Big Bang, like I decree and declare, Asha is. It's the only thing that could come from the perfect creator's perfect mind. Love is, peace is, joy is, power is, freedom. Asha is. And when I clap, I'm taking what's in me, all that feeling, and I'm putting it into a sound and a feeling and a vibration and a frequency that I see going into the world and manifesting. The only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind is my health, my protection, my provision. My friends, and I send it in frequency, and I see it, and then I see it. And I love how in academics, in fiction, in witchcraft, they always come back and give credit to the original Zoroastrianism. Now, I do want to touch on black magic just a little bit. I have tinkered with black magic. It did not work for me. It is not for the magi. I get it. And I'll share a story. I don't want you to be disappointed in me, but I always am truthful with you guys. I've had great examples and testimonies. I've shared them with you. As soon as I get them, I can't wait to share them with you because I'm excited. And then it also builds your excitement and faith. And we grow stronger as a community. But I have had failures. So I've had these knowings before. Well, you guys I got a feeling this is going to be a long one because I don't want to just rush it. And I want to talk and spend time. And I think you guys are ready for that. You probably noticed I've been asking you to stay on through the whole videos because of where we're going. And so you guys have been getting the Asha 15, the speaking the truth, the understanding. Stuff has been going into it. And I actually felt it this morning that today was the day. Matter of fact, got my little cards here. I started pulling this card again. This is the love of my life right here, the Four of Swords. And the magic is tangible, my friends. And that's why we're doing this today. That's why miracles are going to happen today. Magic's going to happen today. Healing's going to happen today. It's tangible. And will you take a moment? I wouldn't be a good teacher probably if I didn't do this. Start to feel. Do you feel the shift? Do you feel the clarity right now? Where maybe last few days, maybe we're a little more foggy, more fuzzy. Do you feel today the clarity? Do you feel the magic? Do you feel the possibilities? Do you feel the excitement? And this is my card. And so I shuffle it. It's been going on a few days again. split it, it's there. Look at the top of the deck, it's there. Look at the bottom of the deck, it'll be there. It just keeps coming up. This is my magic card, my favorite card in the deck. Just like Asha 13 is my favorite statement in teaching in Asha. That's my favorite card. And it's just telling me it's time. It's time for the Magi to be whole. And I'll tell you why, what we're up against. You already know this, but can you imagine, and I know you can because it's going on, a world that has a belief system that the whole world's going to be destroyed in war, fire, famine, destruction. And if we know that our beliefs create, and the whole world has these Abrahamic religions of destruction and sacrifice and tragedy and disease and suffering, that's not a good way to go. We know, again, the universities that are studying magic, they've seen when people send their thoughts and prayers to people in need, it actually shifts and makes a difference. Imagine the whole world holding these horrible stories of the end of the world. And that's why we, the Magi, have come for this time. We're rewriting that. We're saying, okay, the world's going to be destroyed in fire. We say it's going to be the fire of truth that burns out the lie and illusion, burns out the suffering and the destruction and the disease and the famine. Yes, the world will be removed, the false world, the lie and illusion will be removed with the fire of truth that is just good, and it's going to be the most beautiful thing, not a scary thing, not a destructive thing. Magi, we've come for a reason. I don't want to get fired up because I want to teach. But it's Zarathustra Song 5. Oh, false gods, beware. The Magi have returned. Chills all throughout my body. So we're talking about right now sensing the magic and the possibilities that's possible. I want you to feel it right now. Feel it. Get used to it. You'll learn so much from feeling energy. You know, one of my gifts is I see the future. I've told people things before it happens, what's going to happen. They're like, yeah. Then it happens. Then I get the call. Oh my God, it happened. What it is, it's reading energy. Best way I've ever heard it is picture a river running, and there's like a post in the middle of the river, and as the water rushes past it, it makes these like ripples that come out in front of it, in front of the post. So the post is what's about to happen. And because it's such a strong energy, it's pushing it, into time-space. Because it's such a disturbance, right? If someone's going to run a red light and get broadsided, it's such an energy, a frequency that it's sending out waves even outside of time and space. And if you're sensitive, you pick up on it. And then you see what it is, and you can speak it out, and you can prevent that broadside. You can prevent that tragedy. My friends, read the energy, and the energy is telling us right now, this is magic time, right? This is the time for the Magi to get ourselves whole so that we can heal others. And the clarity is here, right? And so we're going to do things, right? And do whatever feels right for you. Like people tie knots. Matter of fact, one of my favorite movies I watch every October is The Craft. Right? You remember her tying the knots? I forget exactly what she says, but she's binding that other witch from doing harm to herself or to others, right? And she's taking her desire inside and putting it into the knots. Zoroastrians do that when they become a Zoroastrian, and then they wear those strings every day. They do it every day to be in remembrance of what we are, right? Because we have to be that. We have to be that truth. We have to speak that truth with what we are. Mine is the clap. I love it. It's simple. It's easy. Another one is writing out the sigils. You guys know the A very well by now. You write out the A for Asha. So you're taking all that you believe about Asha. It's the spirit of truth. It's what's real. We're getting our reason to believe, where we're not just hoping, begging, wouldn't that be nice, trying to make deals with a deity. We're saying this is what's real, Asha. And protection and provision and good. And as we write out that A, we're taking just the idea and we're manifesting it. And then we know we're going to see it manifested in the world. beautiful and powerful. And maybe you guys want to do this is just how I picture it. The knots and the sigils work for me, but it's something about that. I can see the frequency. I think of it as the Big Bang, right? I'm creating a better world, and the true world, the real world that overcomes. There might be just a small number of magi, but we are mighty. And we're going to overcome those Abrahamic religions because the truth is more powerful than the lie. When you have the real, it's so much more powerful when you have the truth. All right, we will get into Shemvahu Yatahu, but I want to go to Asha. Go to Asha 5, 6, and 15. You guys enjoying this? You feel it? You know we're going somewhere? Another story I want to tell, but let me read this first. It says, believe only the highest truth, and you enter Asha. As the wise Lord is perfect, so his idea of creation is perfect. This is called Asha, truth. This idea of truth is the very Spirit of God. It is much more than not making a false statement. It is the true vision of God's ideal existence. It is the real above all real, the highest truth, creation in perfect harmony and order, where nothing occurs at the expense or harm of another. Sit with the word in those words for a moment. Let them become you. That's why one of the first things we memorized at the Order of the Magi is Asha 5. We let those words in us. We hold them, and we hold the word in the words, and we meditate on it. As the wise Lord is perfect, so his idea of creation is perfect. The only thing that could come from his perfect mind is perfection. That's the real world. That's Asha. It's the very Spirit of God. And as we take that Spirit of God, Asha truth, into us, and it is us, now our observance and our consciousness working on the photons and the light is making that observable. Right? So waves to the particles. Beautiful. It is much more than not making a false statement. Right? I always use the example of, like, if your wife says, do I look fat in these jeans? You're not a fool. That's not the line it's talking about. You're going to say, of course not, babe. You know, that's not lying like that. That's a false statement. Lying is holding the lie in illusion. Believing that you can be separated from your good, from God, the highest principle of good. The lie that you could get sick, that you could be in danger, that things won't work out for you, that you're separated somehow from your good. That's lying. And if you'll take the truth into you and hold it, meaning know it, meaning be it, I am the wealth. I don't need riches. I am the wealth. I am health, the Spirit of health itself. I don't need healing. I do want to touch on this. I feel it's important, of things I've learned, because I'm always trying to teach too. You'll have a knowing when you pray for someone and they are healed and whole. Like it's done. It's happened. Great example of that. And I would never tell anyone to do this. Matter of fact, there's horror stories about this. And I don't do this unless I know that I know that I know. I told you a story about the guy that went to church. I got to start with this. And the pastor said, if you keep taking your medicine, it means you don't believe in the Bible and God, and you're saying you don't have faith and you won't get your healing. So his son, I believe it was diabetes. It's been over 20 years, so I don't remember the exact, but I think it was diabetes. His son was getting very ill, said, Daddy, I don't feel good. I need my shot. He wouldn't give it to him because he thought it was against the Bible and God and healing and unfaithfulness. And the kid died. So you don't do that. If you're healed, you're healed. If you're having symptoms, right? Then you haven't got to that place. You're not tapping into the magic, the miracle, the Christ, the truth. Take your fucking medicine, right? It's so simple. But one time I did pray for a woman that was dying of cancer. She was bedridden. I had to go to her house, go up the stairs to her room. She couldn't get out of bed. I prayed for her. I knew she was healed. She knew she was healed. Matter of fact, we just got the message. Was it 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago? I can't remember when I read it. And this had been years ago, but she was just feeling grateful and thankful and was reminiscing. And here she's still alive and healed after 20, 30 years, whatever it's been, saying, I knew when you came and prayed for me, I was healed. And she's one of the few people I ever said something this bold and ridiculous, and I would never suggest, because you could kill someone if you don't know. I told her, you don't have to continue with your treatments if you don't want to, because you are healed. And I got mixed feelings. I said that I got the joy and the excitement and the goosebumps because of the way it worked out. And at the same time, I got, Megas, that's a horrible idea. I wouldn't suggest it. You don't need to do that. Okay, if you know that, maybe just keep it to yourself. Let them follow their heart. If they feel they need to go get more radiation or treatments or whatever, leave that to them. But it worked. I told you the story about the lady who was about to get her leg chopped off because of infection. She swears it was because of me. The next day, the infection was completely gone. No leg chopped off. And again, I'm a dog with a note in its mouth, okay? Sometimes I get really full of myself. I think, oh my God, I must be Zoroaster the third. And then other times I look at myself, I go, oh boy, you are an idiot. I'm a dog with a note in its mouth. I got Asha walking around giving people truth in a way that they're able to receive it. And they tap into that force of magic and truth and Asha and heaven on earth that's available right there, right now. I just point them to it. Flip over to Asha 6. We're on Asha 5. Flip over to Asha 6. I know these aren't numbered, so if you want to number it while we're doing this, that's Asha 5 right there. Believe only the highest truth. Asha 6 says, I look inward to the God mind. So this is Vohu Menu. In the West, we call the Christ mind. That place where you and God are one, there's no separation. Right? Where Jesus talked about that I and you are one, I and God are one, God and you are one. There's no separation. You are the highest principle, God good. You come from good spirit. You're made of good spirit. All the magic and miracles here in you right now, in that divine spark, that God mind, that Vohu Menu. I look inward to the God mind and I see truth. That's where you're going to find the truth. You have to remember we were talking about fast your eyes from the outside world, the creation made from those Abrahamic religions, false ideas, mixed ideas. Go inside to that pure light, that pure information, that pure truth, Asha, the thing that came from the perfect creator's perfect mind to create a perfect world. Go inside, and there I experience soundness of mind. Why is soundness of mind important? Because if you have a crazy mind, a mixed mind, that's what you're going to create, right? Our thoughts, our mind is our superpower. We live in a mind. Science again proves this, right? Everything is mind. So we operate in the mind with mind. It says thoughts make your world, beliefs make your thoughts. Reason makes your beliefs. Mind reasons. Mind is the reason. Know this, be this. Then illusion goes away. Belief in only good. Oh, okay, did you see a little thing? Reason. This is when I was watching that professor and the different scientists and the blind studies they did. They all said you have to have a reason to believe, a knowing reason. They're speaking the language of Asha to make these miracles or magic or changes, on the photons, right? The observer on the experiment. Reason and a knowing. We know this a little bit further, that knowing is being it. You take on the frequency of it. Then the illusion goes away. Belief in only good. It is this complete trust that brings out manifestations, magic, miracles. Now, real, the real above all real. Health is real. Sickness and disease is a lie. Protection is real, right? Harm and tragedy and suffering, that's not real. That's lie and illusion made from the monster mind, from the monster gods, from the monster beliefs. We come back to that Zoroastrian pure light. That's the magi magic, truth, the pure light, the real. Asha. Are you getting it? Just hold these words. I know a lot of you that have been with me for years know this, but know it on a deeper level, as in be it. It says magic, miracles, manifestations now, real as they already are, by means of reason. You guys should have this memorized by now. If you have to have a reason to believe, to manifest, to work in magi magic, otherwise you're hoping, thinking, wouldn't that be nice? Begging a deity in the sky, trying to make deals. I'll do this if you do this. I'll stop doing this if you do this. You have to have a reason to believe. What is the magi's reason to believe? Do you know? Have you heard it so many times from me? It's what's real. It's the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind. That's our baseline. That's our truth. That's what we hold on to. That's our reason to believe. It's mine because it's what's real. It's substance. It's what was, is, and forever shall be. Can I do something? You guys have been with me this long now. And for those that are still here, you're going to get something beautiful out of this. You know, you remember that video a few days ago, I told people, watch it all the way to the end or unsubscribe. Many unsubscribed, and that's okay because they wouldn't even be able to go where we're going here, right? They just weren't ready for it. And they're actually they would have drug us back with their unbelief and their, you know all this. We're ready now. So I want to talk about my wonderful friend Dorothy, because I'm going to actually ask her to join us in this prayer. And I'll tell you why, because, matter of fact, I just thought of this. I did a meditation on the Four of Swords card, where we would, in this meditative state, hear from a message from Jesus. Ooh, I'm feeling very emotional about this. And she heard from Jesus that she would heal many people. She would be a powerful healer. And this is while she was dying of cancer. So I'm going to ask her when we go to pray that she'll join us and stand with us and let her dream come true of healing. Those that need healing in their minds and body will receive it, and Dorothy will send her healing energy and her dream will come true. You know, a lot of people think when someone leaves, oh God, I feel this all through my body. When someone leaves their form, that they're like separated. They've gone off to some room in the sky. My friends, they're here. Their energy, their spirit, their soul, everything is happening right here, right now. We're so conditioned to think of being inside of time and space. And my friends, Dorothy is everywhere all at once. Maybe these eyes can't pick up that light spectrum, or these ears, those frequencies that she speaks in and moves in, but Dorothy is here right now. God is here right now. The magi that were, are, and shall be are here right now. We love you, Dorothy. Story with Dorothy. Been years now, and still, love never goes away. And I feel her here right now. She was my biggest cheerleader. Every video, through the whole video, praying for me, believing, interacting, keeping me going, encouraging. First time she got cancer, started in her mind. Aunt, I believe it was an aunt, some family member got cancer. She said the thought entered her mind, oh no, what if it's in the genes and DNA? And she got scared. She went to the doctor and she had it now in the exact same place. She felt it was brought on by worry. What do we know about worrying? Worrying is praying for the worst outcome. Because you believe you're separated from your good in God. You believe it could happen. And you're adding strong emotion of fear and it rushes to you. She said, Magus, am I going to die? Instantly, I knew, no, you're not going to die, Dorothy. You will not. I know it. Be at peace. You're okay. Contacted me later. She was fine. Many years later, she said, Magus, it's back. Doctors had given her the clean bill of health. Cancer was gone. Now it's back with a vengeance. Magus, am I going to be okay? I don't think so. Tears. My biggest cheerleader, my magi. I saw she wasn't going to stay in form and matter. She had a wonderful husband, beautiful children, beautiful soul. Even while she was going through all that, till the day she left her body, she was always ministering to others, always encouraging, always praying for, always loving. It's her nature. When that happened, Magus lost his damn mind. I started dabbling in whatever. I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck. Black magic, let's try it. Any spirit, any whatever. If it could prevent that from happening, from suffering, I was on board. It doesn't work for the Magi. It was terrifying. It was unproductive. Those spirits, they're not really on Team Light, Team Magi. Their concern is not healing and saving and stopping suffering. And they did not like me, those energies, those spirits, whatever you say. Black magic does not work for the Magi. But I would try anything. I know that about myself now. I will do anything for Asha. For those of you that listen to the music, one of my favorite songs, it just never caught on. It's Protect the Child. I use it when I lift weights and when I'm wound up and ornery. When I need that extra kick to keep fighting, because sometimes it does feel about like our small little tribe against the world. And when I need to hold the line, hold the light, hold Asha. That's the song I play, Protect the Child. And what we see is, if you're new to this and still here, I'd be shocked if you are, but we see Asha many different ways. but sometimes as a child that we have to protect, because I know as a father the lengths I go to protect my children. Matter of fact, me and my kids laugh about this all the time, the things I've done to protect my children. You'll do anything. So we protect that frequency, that truth, that light, when the dark world that's trying to destroy the world, we protect that light. We protect that flame. We keep that flame burning, right? That's the Zoroastrian, the Magi. What we do, we keep the flame burning. And they actually in the temple have a flame that they keep burning, never let go out. But it's representative of Asha, the truth. We do that in us, in our temple. We protect the child. And you'll notice what I did with that song. We're just talking now. We will get to the prayer and be together. But we spend time together. We get to know each other. You see some of my greatest victories and some of my lowest lows. You know me. We know each other. And it is important. And as you share your life with me, like I can picture many of you, because over the years we spent time even just texting. I know you, and I can tap into your soul, and I feel what you're feeling. I know you guys feel what I'm feeling. We're so connected. And we know this now, again, scientifically. So it's important we do spend this time together. So far, look what's already happened. You've learned. Your faith has grown. You've heard stories of miracles and magic. You've known me a little better or worse. But this song, at the end of it, well, what I did with this song, I wrote out the lyrics of what I was feeling about protecting Asha. Then I used scenes from Game of Thrones. I couldn't watch Game of Thrones in full honesty. I watched the first episode and thought this was not created for the Magi or Zoroastrians. I couldn't watch. I wanted to watch it because of the dragons. I love dragons. But I knew after the first episode it's not for me. So what I did is I went through and I took clips from different seasons of just dragon scenes, and I put it to that. And at the very end of the video I made, it's called Protect the Child. If you look it up in my music, it's under the list heavy. There's like Megas 9 music, then there's a heavy music. This one's Protect the Child. It's got a blue dragon, I believe, on it. And at the end, the queen, right, she closes her eyes because they're about to be killed in an arena. And she grabs her friend's hands, closes her, and she prays. And the blue dragon comes into the arena. And I had so much excitement. Like the lyrics were about Magus would do anything to protect the queen, to protect Asha, to protect the divine feminine, the light, and that he would even break the sky. But it's such just a flurry of emotion. Like the words have become, you can't even make out what's being said. It's just like, have you ever got that so wound up you can't even make your words, you know? And every time I've watched that thing probably 50 times, goosebumps through my whole body. Then the dragon comes in and saves the queen with its fire, you know. Oh, chills every time.